Well, Chocolate City has been a little bit interesting when it comes to the NBA. They got a little light skin up in there, but for the most part, they made some key moves that I might think that they might not be as bad as most people think. This your boy Steve O Speaks with your boy Hayes. This is NBA Central. Y'all gotta listen to that music first.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of NBA Central. Hey, like I just said in the intro, the Washington Wizards are a little bit different compared to the team we've been seeing as of late. They got two major additions, along with Kyle Kuzma being there, which I feel like after watching a few games of them, or I think they only played one game against. I don't know what team that was. Do you know what team that was?
They played against the
I don't know what the hell it looked. It wasn't Shanghai, but they had Shanghai
uh
colors.
the Carnes Tampas. I don't know. I know I'm murdering that name, bro. I don't
Well, they was playing, yeah, they was playing one of them teams. But the first thing I noticed about them was their offensive pacing was different. That was the first thing I noticed. The offensive pacing was different, and it was just. I know Jordan Poole was the biggest addition of their team, but I think the most important was Jones, Tyrus Jones, who's a former backup point guard in Memphis. So, first of all, Hayes, after watching the game, what was your first initial thoughts of the Washington Wizards?
I mean, you got to keep in mind the competition that they played
Oh yeah.
against, but I definitely think that to me, the game between Tyus, uh, Kyle, and Jordan Poole was better than I was initially thinking. Like I didn't really know how they were going to look on the court together. They all played around 19, 20 minutes. I believe they're all mainly on the court together as well, but
Hmm.
it looked solid out there. There's definitely good framework out there for them.
Yeah, like of course, like you said, they wasn't playing anybody of any regard that's near their talent. But like when it comes to basketball, just the first few things that I look at that you can see initially is spacing, game plan, and like just like nuances of the game where they don't know, like we don't know how they would gel, like if they was to have like a pick and roll such and such, like a pick and roll game. One of the things I came away from that game that I've seen was the spacing is totally different because they got plenty of shooters around. Kyle Kuzma is more of I would say I won't say a sniper, but he's more of a shooter, a spot up shooter. And then of course we know Jordan Poole, the shooter he is, and Tyrus can knock you down as well. So with Bradley Bill being gone and the way he operates in the half court game, it slowed up the half court game a little bit more with Bill. So it was very keyed on game plan wise that you had to call some nice plays to get him open, or just plays that he's dialed up and that he personally likes. With this team, not only do I feel like they could flourish in the half court, but the transition is crazy. There's times where they just run another court outlet and Jordan's gonna take a step and pull. Kyle will do the same thing,
Yeah.
or they're running together and they automatically just know what space to go to. So Kyle would drift out to that three while somebody's cutting, or vice versa. Poole would do it, and that was just some of the main things I've noticed. Like I said, the talent was low, but that's just one initial things that I saw.
Yeah, and I think the Gafford piece of it, like this, Gafford is almost the perfect center to be in this type of roster as far as his skill set because he's the
Mhm.
things he does well. He's going to rebound the ball well. We know he likes to run and get out in transition. If they find him cutting or in transition, he's going to yam it on people's heads. And while he's not like Daniel Gafford isn't this amazing rim protector or anything like that, but I think he's gonna not block a ton of shots, but I think he's gonna change the trajectory of a lot of shots to the. Now he had 5 blocks in this game. I don't know if he's not going to have that type of impact in the
No,
regular season, but I definitely think like they can run a similar a type of defensive system where because they don't have the best perimeter defenders where you kind of funnel everything in through Gafford and he just has to protect that rim. And I think he can do a good enough job on that. If this team can even be, I would even say with the offensive potential that they have, even if they can be top 20 in defense, this may be a team that can make some noise. I'm not saying they're going to like get a 5 seed or anything like that, but like that bottom tier that's fighting for that play-in, they can make
Yeah,
it pretty
that's
interesting for those teams in the
that's
East.
exactly what I was leading towards because to me they kind of give me the like the before DeJounte Murray got there, they kind of have a lot of similarities of the Atlanta Hawks. And I could see them using Danny Gafford in a Kent Capella type role
Yeah.
because the pick and roll in the 2-man game that Poole and Cal already have is kind of crazy. Like I didn't expect them to have such a good 2-man game, and they could even showed any of good potential of a good pick and roll game between them two. And that's mean for pick and pop, pick and roll, whatever. And it just like you said, I kind of expect them to be around like at its best, like one of those Orlando teams. Like you can't take them lightly on any night. Um, a lot of people not talk about Corey Crisper, who I think is one of the next up and coming knockdown shooters that nobody's talking about. Like I don't know if you listen to JJ Redick, but he said he's probably one of them next shooters coming up. He likes the
Yeah.
way he shoot.
Kispert's good.
He's
Yeah.
good. Like you said, the defense is definitely lacking. Something they want to pay attention to as well. Um, I w- I wish they never. I mean, I know it was a couple moves ago. I wish they kept Thomas Bryant. I always felt like he was a solid center for them, a solid even if a backup at anything. But yeah, this team just I feel like you just can't take them lightly. You can't come in and thinking, oh, this is an automatic W because like even last year, like it wasn't well, the Bulls was tweaking any majority of our games anyway.
Yeah.
But like, it just wasn't an automatic dub because we knew the threat that Cal Kuzma was. And I'm gonna go ahead and say a bold prediction. I think with the addition of Tyrus Jones and the way he plays the point guard position, we could possibly see a career year from Cal Kuzma.
I mean, that would be fair. I mean, he's gonna have every opportunity, right? Like him and Jordan Poole are gonna have a green light to do almost whatever they want to within the confines of the offense. But I mean, I can't really fight against that. I do think that Kuzma has to stay healthy as well. But Jordan Poole and Kuzma, I would not be surprised if both these guys have career years this year.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I didn't say Jordan Poole because he kind of already did, and but that was of course due to the organization he was in. He had plenty of time to flourish, but it is a little different when you are starting. You're in a starring role and you're a key piece of this whole franchise and what's going to come forward. But yeah, that's it. I'm just very shocked of how well they work together. Just like you said, they're not playing nobody. Trust me, they're not playing nobody. And I believe that was their first preseason game. Everybody else, some of the other teams are 2-3 games in at this point. So I'm definitely going to keep my eye on them, especially when they start playing more competition. But yeah, like I just think there's one of those teams like uh, Brooklyn is not going to be as easily as you think. Like Atlanta's not going to be as easy as you think. Bulls, it's not going to be as easy as you think. Heat, it's not. And, it just I like it because we already know the East is already improved as a conference. You know, it was a long time where it was just the Cavs and that's it. So I kind of like I'm a fan of basketball when both sides are pretty much even. Like you got your teams on the West. Like I will say, like the West is still, and you could disagree or not, that's still probably a little bit more dominant in terms of play style. But I still think like the East could still give anybody a run for their money at any time.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the East is that, a lot of the tops, well, Denver, we know that they can kick it up defensively. Phoenix, we don't know what the heck they're going to do. Like, they're going to score a bunch of points, but who they're going to be able to stop, right? But the teams in the East, there are a lot of solid teams that play two-way basketball, and that's going to be the thing that makes it interesting, kind of the difference in it. Now, I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what that goes to, especially now with the in-season tournament, which I'm still excited to see, right? But like,
Mhm.
the East is going to be competitive. Like there's, of course, you got those two teams in Boston and Milwaukee that are clearly at the top of the East. You got teams that also can be a ring below them in the Cavs, the Knicks, and the 76ers, even though we don't know what the hell's going on with them. But almost every team other than those guys are all fighting over like 5 remaining playoff spots. So it's going to be a
Right.
fun season to watch. Anytime that lines up that way, it's fun.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like it's gonna be fun. Like you said, keep forgetting about the end game of the end season tournament, and I feel like they're the eye. There's something. They're probably the team I'm gonna keep my eye on. Is one of those teams. But I got one more question about you about this team and Bilal. They rookie. How did you feel about their rookie?
I mean, he didn't look terribly out of place, right? I was surprised that they started him. Definitely surprised that
Oh
they
yeah, for
started him.
sure.
I did not expect that at all. I won't even lie. I expected Kispert to have that, but I mean, he's promising, and I understand why they're high on him. I just think that personally, defensively, he didn't look like he was grasping the defensive concepts really well, but that can come along.
And do that worry you? Because I think majority of why they drafted him at the high pick that they did was because of his potential on the defensive
Yeah.
side of the ball.
Yeah, and I think that's why he's also in the starting lineup, right? Because they need him and Gafford are only potentially like the actual defenders that you're looking at in that roster. Tyus Jones isn't a terrible defender, but he's small. So
Yeah,
he can
he's
only do
smart.
so
Yeah.
much. So yeah, I'm definitely looking at Coulibaly as somebody who like he's gonna go through his bumps and bruises if they're gonna keep him in that starting lineup through the season. There's gonna be some games where you look and you're gonna be like, hey man, this kid got absolutely cooked. But I think by the end of the season, he's gonna adjust pretty well to the game.
Yeah, that's why I think they put him out there so fast so he get used to the game. Like I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's the guy that was from France. Like he was the former team of Wimby.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just I think it's almost like with an old lineman when he's a rookie. You're not used to the strength, you're not used to the speed. So and just like you said, even not playing the best talent, I don't know if he was ready for that speed and that strength that came with it. So of
Yeah.
course, when his first preseason gets some actual NBA talent, he might not look that good, but hey, you got to take some bumps and bruises to turn into whatever you're gonna do. But I see the science behind the pickup. I see what
Yeah,
they
I
coming
mean,
from.
and we got to remember too. I almost forgot. Like Denny was out that game,
True.
and he's gonna definitely be a big part of what they do going forward. Denny is one of the more promising young players I think they have on that team. So you know,
I thought people was down on him, honestly.
listen. I mean, I understand why some people are down on Denny, but like to me, I understand. Like last year with the Washington Wizards was a shit show. If we're just being honest, bro. Like
Yeah.
you had a
Yeah.
lot of players that put up some numbers on that team, but like it was all up and down. I think Denny coming into a team that now theoretically doesn't have aspirations. They are just trying to find their way, develop, let people get to their spots naturally. I think Denny's going to have a season where even the people that are down on him, I think he's going to have what I guess you can consider a bounce back year. So,
Yeah. Like he's at his state in his career where he can only go up.
yeah.
And so it's either sink or swim at this point. Hopefully they do some development with him because hey, they can figure out you can also add another key piece cornerstone to your team, which can kind of stabilize or what you can see what this team could be. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this one. Just a quick little episode. Of course, I want to hear y'all thoughts in the comments. I know y'all not probably gonna be like, I know this mud and I just made no video about the Wizards. Hey, everybody got everybody has an upside. There's very few teams where I just don't believe they can do nothing. Like there's just very few teams in NBA right now. I think so. I'm just trying to give them they just do. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit up all the NBA Central fam, Bulls Central, Bears Central, White Sox Club with Kev and them, and Shot Bull Podcast with Bobby and C Dub. And yeah, we gonna check with y'all later. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks